VR conceptually promises complete control over your reality. It's the ultimate escapism. You could go on quests without ever being in danger, you could explore vast worlds, and reality could be whatever you want. Peripherals like treadmills, gloves, and vests use clever ways to trick your senses, but you can't accurately simulate actions like running, climbing, or swimming using them. At least not until VR exosuits become a thing, and even then you can't realistically simulate G-forces, which are what give you the sense that you're actually moving. Brain-computer interfaces could theoretically solve these problems by simulating senses directly, and good progress is being made, but we're still figuring out how the brain works, not to mention the procedure required to get one implanted, and the ethical issues that come with it. I don't know when fully immersive VR will become a thing, but I want to see if I can make an experience that gets close. A small experience that creates enough of a feeling that you're actually there, and that you can go anywhere and do anything, even if you can't. Maybe the technology isn't completely there yet, but maybe I can get close. For this project, I want to be immersed in a world that feels real, so I'm going to include some more immersive technology beyond just a headset. These are the extrasensory immersion features I've decided to include. First, I want to grip a sword and throw things using a haptic glove, but haptic gloves are niche and cost anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars, and they're more aimed at companies rather than consumers. Luckily, I found a DIY VR glove designed by Lucas VR Tech that you can make from scratch without spending too much money. I also want to feel the blows from a haptic vest. I didn't want to buy one, even though they're more affordable than gloves. I did find a video by Pointlessly Useful on YouTube where he built one on his own, and I feel like I could figure it out too. Lastly, I want to cast spells using my mind, because why not? And the technology to do this has existed for a while through EEGs, so it can definitely be done. I just need to find one that's affordable and can fit under a headset. After a month and a half of waiting for parts, 3D printing, and learning how electricity works, here's what I got. This is the glove I made based on the tutorial. The original plan was to make two, but one proved difficult enough. It's pretty cool that it works and the design is clever. The servos tension strings to limit your finger movement. When your hand reaches a certain radius around an object, the haptics fire, and it feels like you're grabbing something. It has a nice cobbled together look to it, and I just need to make sure I don't knock any wires out of the breadboard, since I didn't know how to solder when I built it. Here's the vest I came up with. This was probably my favorite part of the project, because even though it's janky, I got to learn how circuits and Arduinos work. I actually got it to work with Unity too. For casting spells, I needed something inexpensive and thin enough to fit under my Quest 2. I found a simple neuroscience kit from Upside Down Labs, and it uses just a few electrodes instead of a full helmet, so it was perfect. It can only measure two mental states, attentive and relaxed. So my idea was to have a fireball in my hand that gets bigger the harder I focus. Lastly, this is a scene I created. I wanted it to feel like just by standing here, you could go anywhere and do anything. I wanted a path leading up to a mountain with an epic overlook into a valley, with a massive forest to explore down below, and a huge mountain towering above you. I didn't end up incorporating the vest here because I didn't want to include combat in the scene, just good vibes. This project turned out way less polished than I imagined in my head, but I'm still happy with the final project as a proof of concept, overlooking an epic valley and being able to literally grip a sword and use magic with my mind. This project was an exercise in figuring things out. I'm not an engineer and I knew from the start that it would be janky, but I wanted to see if I could make something that felt somewhat real and to finish it regardless of whether it was good. Fully immersive VR has been a dream of mine forever, and even if it's not a perfect one-to-one in our lifetimes, I think it'll definitely be good enough to create immersive experiences. We can watch movies on a screen and be completely sucked in to the point where we forget we're sitting in a theater. So maybe VR doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs hardware that's good enough to trick your senses and amazing content. Overall, I did this project because I wanted to be an immersive technology designer, and I wanted to make something cool and share it with other people who are also into this stuff. Thanks for watching. See ya.